Tuesday, September 30th is the last day of September, the last day of the quarter. Got a big show. We're going to start out with TrendSpider. We're going to go into the government shutdown. I will go over the S&P winners year to date because the end of Q3 looks far different than the end of Q2. And I've been on top of that, I would say, for the most part. I reviewed my portfolio yesterday, including the Alpha Picks portfolio, and I've got 5 things that I noticed. A buy the dip, a buy the dip stock. An Alpha Pick stock that dipped yesterday, 3-4%. The best AI stocks. And I went to the Apple store yesterday. So I'll go over that. But I wanted to start out with this. And I noticed this, TrendSpider didn't, say, hey, this is a new feature, blah, blah, blah. But when I went to Market Scanner, you'll see Market Scanner finds symbols. And it says, describe what you are after and let AI help you. So I went in there this morning and I'm just going to do this live. Hopefully this works. Let me just put that cord up there. But hopefully this works. I'm going to say, find stocks in the S&P 500 that are up 10% in the last month after being down in the month of July. Okay, let's find some ones that have changed direction, maybe found a bottom. And so I'm going to find symbols in there. And this is literally all I'm doing. I'm doing this completely live to show you the possibilities of what TrendSpider has to offer. Now, it worked before. Let's see if it works again. It did. It found out a few stocks. So let's take a look at these charts, okay? First one it found is Tesla. You can see the month of July did nothing, and then you took off. Now, is that a correction one? Maybe. Does it have more room to go? I would say on the weekly, as you're getting past this, if you can hold the 400 mark, I think you're good for going higher. Again, from a technical perspective, check out your fundamentals, understand what you're buying. Your MACD is down around the oscillator. It went totally, the last time it was up this high, it went to 50 on the oscillator. Okay, we're at 21 on the oscillator right now. And the RSI's at 71, completely overbought. So is it time for a downturn? I don't know. But again, this is the type of stock that you can do. McKesson Corp. Look at this one. I use Spices. Is that one that you want? Again, it's down in July. You took that dip and then you started taking over. These are weekly charts, by the way. This is a weekly look at this. So let's go to UHS. United Health Services. This was down. This went down from October of 2024. Again, healthcare came down, bounced back up. Have we gotten past the 201? Can we get to 240 again? Maybe. Healthcare might be bouncing up. CNC, Centene Corp. It went down and we crashed. Now it's going back up. Maybe it's a good one. Then you've got WB, the Williams Company. Kind of flat. Are we getting ready for the next move? Then you've got EXE, Expand Corporation. You can see the drop down and the pullback. Again, it's natural language. You can use natural. You don't need to understand exactly. It literally wrote the code for me. The price greater than 22 days ago, and then price close lower than. And so it wrote it for me. And again, how do you get TrendSpider? Well, I want to point this out. Linktree, L-I-N-K. The link is literally down below, and you can see it on the screen. And if you can't see it, again, it is down below, and you can just click on it. Now, TrendSpider's having the last day of their fall sale. And I point you, if you're using natural language, it's great. But I would point you to the left-hand side here to the advanced tier, because at $117, you can take up to 52 training classes per year, one-on-one Zoom sessions with a product expert. Okay, you get everything that you need. And it's $117 a month. If that's within your budget, consider it a training course. Because then 52 trainings per year, divide the total price by 52. And that's the price for the training courses. And then the tool is given to you for free on top of that. or you can consider the tool to be the paid for, and then the training is absolutely free for the rest of the year. But again, one per year. That's why I like to do that. The options are endless. They've extended the offer for one more day. If we have a downturn in October, like we have in the past, okay, and I'm going to put this chart in the newsletter, okay, the monthly chart on this one, I will post it. I just worked on this one. Will October be a dip month? The trend remains up, but if we have a dip in October, unlocking that type of market scanner and that type of tool is going to be the key. Okay? Now we're going to go back over to the strategy, and I'm going to use the 4-hour algorithm because this is the strategy that I use. It's mine. You can get it when you sign up for an annual plan with TrendSpider. There's nothing extra that you have to do. Sign up through my link, get under my affiliate program, and you get the 4-hour algorithm, again, for an annual plan. But let's talk about opportunities, because one of the biggest opportunities that I've been touting for the past couple of days, and this goes back to last week. I mean, we all knew it was going to happen, but they're no closer to funding a deal after meeting with Trump. And FYI, Trump wants this shutdown. Just make no mistakes about it. He wants the shutdown. Maybe it's because the jobs numbers suck. And maybe he does not want that coming out. Maybe he wants to be able to shrink government a little. Maybe he wants the ability to do all of this. It will shut down. For how long? Who knows? Who knows? But it's all noise. Ignore it. If this trend continues, this is just noise. And I do think there are plenty of people who are buying the dip on this one. So any little dip that you see, I would be buying. Now, I want to point out that S&P winners so far this year, this list looked far different at the end, or I should say at the beginning of Q3, the end of Q2, okay? It looked far different, and people may not realize this, but in my newsletter and on this podcast, I've covered Robinhood. It's the year-to-date winner. Did I get 264% year-to-date? No, but I've got a great gain in that one because I bought it under 100. Seagate Technology. Did I get this winner? No, but I said back here in this newsletter, July 27th, we can go and look. July 27th, I posted, hey, it's a great buy. And then when the 4-hour algorithm told me to buy, I bought. Now, the 4-hour algorithm has had you in since 155. That's coming off a 109% gain. Now, the 4-hour algorithm, had you had this on your watch list, you could have bought it with the April dip. Again, have a watch list. And that's what I'm publishing here. Watch lists, things that I'm looking at. Okay? And then September's hottest trades. What did I say? WDC. Did I get the full, again, the third biggest one, WDC up 163%. Did I get the full one? No. But I published this when WDC was $79. So again, if you got the newsletter, you were in there. It was August 29th. And yes, WDC was on this. And it's in there. I even went over WDC and STX. I said WDC is the better option. And year to date, that's number 2 and 3. Then you go down Palantir. Do I care about Palantir? It's in the core portfolio. I have not even traded this one since 25. Do I care about it? It seems to have put in a pretty good base at 160. Now, the valuation makes no sense to me. But here's the thing. I own VOO, and these are the top movers year to date. And when it got added to the S&P 500, I own it. And then Newmont. Okay, that's number 5. NEM. I brought this up in January to people. And I said, hey, gold is a pretty good deal. Look, what have we done since January? It's just been straight up. Did I get the full one? No, I took a 20 to 30% gain. I forget. And then, by the way, number 6 is App 11. I've owned it. I've added it as part of Alpha Picks. I'm very open about that position. App 11 has been a winner. Again, it's a top S&P winner year to date. And then Micron. Again, these are the top 7, just top 7. You've heard me talk about them. These are the top 7 year-to-date gainers in the S&P 500. Micron is up 95%. It's been the top-rated stock in Seeking Alpha for a very long time. Is it there today? No. But it was up here. Now, if I scroll down here, and I just go to home and I go to the large cap top quants by market cap, Micron's still up there as a large cap stock. So the point is, I have either traded or mentioned all of these top 7 stocks. They have been out there as positions for you to take. If you're not in these, and I'm not in all of them right now, but it's time to start journaling, because if you listen to my podcast, I have a thesis for each one. I journal every one that I did. And if you've never even taken a trade in these or understand, you need to own why. And I'm not shaming on this, but the journaling helps you understand it so that in the next time this happens, you'll know what to do. My podcast is about process. If you keep saying I should have, it's time to start finding out why you haven't. And it might just be, I want to own the indexes. I don't want the risk. And again, that's perfectly fine. But the point is, this podcast has gone over all of these. And if you just scroll down the names, there are quite a few that I've gone over as well. Anything that's over like 12%, you're beating the index. So again, all of those little things were great. Now, I want to point out, if you're feeling scared in the market, the rest of the market on Fear and Greed Index, we are less than 1% from all-time highs. And the Fear and Greed Index is neutral. It's neutral. Let's check out the VIX, because that's the other thing that you want to keep an eye at. The VIX is at 16. It wants to be at 20. Now, typically when it pops up, you're going to see the market come down. But is the VIX doing anything with a government shutdown? Again, you're hearing the news, but the actual market's telling you, hey, this is priced in. So now I want to go over a couple of things, because I went over my portfolio and I don't have slides on this. I don't have news articles on this. So we're going to hop back and forth between the tools that I use. It's going to be Premium and Alpha Picks. Okay, you can get the bundle. You hear me talk about this all the time. It's the second link here on Linktree. You save $150. You're going to see me jump back and forth. And then the other tool that you're going to see me jump back and forth with is TrendSpider, which is the charts. So let's go over this, okay? My biggest gainers yesterday were individual stocks I've chosen to trade recently, not part of Alpha Picks. Okay? Hood. This was up 12% yesterday. 12%. I just got a signal to buy more. You can see it right there. Buy $136.71. Am I going to buy? You damn well know I'm going to buy. This is a buy the dip for me. Okay? This is in response to the sports betting and the bank. They will continue to be a great stock to buy and hold, in my opinion. It's going to be a main position in my portfolio. I'm perfectly fine with the volatility. If it pulls back to 80, I'm okay. I will just add more. Now, is Hood a great stock in the quant? No, it's a hold. But if you look at the history of this, ever since it was 40 over the last year, it's been a hold. Over 3 years, it has very rarely been a strong buy. Doesn't mean I don't trust the quant, just means that the quant missed this one. Now it's number 5 out of 26 in the financial and investment banking and brokerage, but you don't see the large cap stocks. Like Goldman Sachs is number 10. I have a big position in Goldman Sachs. So again, Hood is one that was up 12%. And I've been very clear on this one. I loved it under 100. It dipped under 100 several times. I only bought it once, and I bought it, luckily enough, I bought it right before it went into the S&P 500. Now the next one that was up 10% yesterday, IREN. Okay, I've gone over the fundamentals of why this is a good stock. There is nothing more to say. You will have to deal with volatility on this one. The quant has it as a hold. IREN in the 4-hour algorithm, okay, it got you in at 17. 17. You are up over 150% right now. You've gotten up near 180%. So you've still got room to run to 50 on this one. Would I buy it now? Probably not, but I've got my position. The next one that was up huge is Coinbase. Okay, this is a bet on crypto. Yes, it's overvalued. If you went and looked at Coinbase here, it is overvalued. The valuation is crazy. Okay, but guess what? Guess where the biggest inflows in ETFs were over the last 6 months? It's crypto ETFs. It's IBIT. It's ETHA. It's all of those. Guess where they store the crypto for the holdings in those ETFs? It's Coinbase. And so it's a very simple, hey, the 4-hour algorithm makes me about as much as buy and hold. It got me out here. I don't want to get out here. I think the base is putting in right around 300. So if it dips down to 280, I'm buying more. A long-term buy and hold. Then now I want to go over the Alpha Picks portfolio. Okay? Because this is the Alpha Picks portfolio, and this is the return. I think it's up over 250%. Because yesterday it was up 1.53%. Yesterday, the Alpha Picks portfolio, my Alpha Picks portfolio, was up 1.53%. That may be because I'm weighted a little differently, and we will go over that. But yesterday, it was up 1.53%. And I want to point this out. Okay? QQQ. Remember, it was up 1.53%. QQQ was up 0.46. Triple QQQ in one day. VOO, and again, this is a buy and hold portfolio, so you want to make sure that you buy in correctly. VOO was up 0.28%. Okay? 5 times in one day. IWM, you may say, well, it's made up of small caps. Of course, those soared. IWM, the small cap Russell 2000 ETF, was up 0.12, 10 times. Remember, I was up 1.53%. Now, 1 month over VOO, 1 month, 8% for the Alpha Picks portfolio, 2% for VOO. 3 months, 25% for Alpha Picks, 8% for VOO. 6 months, 45% for Alpha Picks, 16% for VOO. Again, 1 year, 44% versus 16% for VOO. It's clear. Alpha Picks is outperforming. And this graphic, again, click on the link. Go and look at Alpha Picks. Go and look at what you want. Go and research it. But it's clear it's trending up. Let's go over what I found out from my Alpha Picks portfolio yesterday. And I'm going to give you specific stocks. Okay? COMM. CommScope. I took a large position in this. It is 10% of my portfolio with just a small gain. I am not up huge on this one. Okay? In the Alpha Picks portfolio, this one is only up 0.65%. So this isn't one of the big winners. It was added right back here, right after it ran up. But the fundamentals are still good. And so I took a large position in this, and I'm only up 0.46%. I'm sorry, I'm up somewhere in the neighborhood of 0.65, somewhere in that neighborhood. But again, I have my notes right here as to where I bought it, and I know why I bought it. I journaled it. So even though that's 10% of my overall position, and I should have taken other stocks that have soared since I bought this one, but again, it was a bet. And it's just about adding to the winners. Because this one, seems to be putting in a nice little base here at 14, and I think it could go to 22. It's just a bet. Again, adding to your winners. See where I got the 22, a previous all-time high in 2021 where it pulled back. Okay, CRDO, CRDO. This is the second largest holding in my Alpha Picks portfolio. I've been trading this one, and with Alpha Picks portfolio only holding 2.54%, my current account is at 17%. Again, position size is adding to the winners. Why? Because over 5 days, you're down 4%. 1 month, you're up 14%. 6 months, you're up 2.63%. And this was the #1 top 2025 stock picked back in January. So yes, 17%. And I have gone in and out of this. I have no doubt I've gained more than just the 106% that it tells me, because I bought this back in January where they went over this. So I've taken profits on many of this, but it's currently sitting at 17% of my account. The next one, AppLovin. We just went over AppLovin as one of the top S&P gainers. Okay, I've been trading this one, but not in large amounts. I've been trading more with SSRM, CRDO, and COMM. So it's currently 10% of my portfolio, while Alpha Picks has it as 14% because it's grown so much. I've traded too much of this. So while I have the Alpha Picks has a 1,572% gain, I have a 400% gain on the position that I'm currently sitting in. But I know I bought more. I bought more than needs to be. And here we go. AppLovin jumps as it prepares to launch self-serve tool. Analysts raise estimates. Again, they're bringing their estimates up. It's a winner that I need to add to, and I've got to find an entry to it. So I will. But we've seen it go. The 4-hour algorithm has you go from 448, and I've been touting this 4-hour algorithm as the buy, because it beats buy and hold, and it wins 63% of the time. Okay, another couple stocks, Celestica, CLS. They are a much higher percentage in my personal portfolio than the Alpha Picks portfolio. Why? Because I'm trading them. I'm adding to the winners. This one over 6 months is up 212%. SSRM, which just got picked in June, we can look at the 1 month, it's up 32%. Again, summary. With quarterly or monthly rebalancing to make sure I have enough in each position, and I'm there because it's the end of the quarter, and that's what I was doing yesterday. I should be able to stay close, if not outperform the overall portfolio. And the portfolio tracking is right there for you in the app. You can track it. So my motto of adding to winners and cutting the losers. Remember, cutting the losers doesn't mean just to get rid of any loser in there. It's a long-term buy and hold strategy. It just means making sure I have the holding percentage of each one in the portfolio. A great example of this is Bluebird, BLBD. This is the freaking yellow bus company, okay? If you would have, when Alpha Picks picked this, if you would have gotten rid of it when Alpha Pick picked it, it was a pick at $53, okay? You lost all this money. I just made sure I had the holding percentage. And as it started to win and the golden cross happened with the 50-day over that, I've been clear, I've added to it. Now I've taken my position off because I've gotten the sell here. Has it run too much? We've got a gap down below. It scared me. So again, looking at my portfolio, I was like, I own too much of this. Let me pull back a little bit. Adding to your winners, cutting your losers. Doesn't mean that this one's going to be a loser. Just means that it's run quite a bit. I mean, look at the bottom of this one. If we were just to pull this one back to the bottom and look at that, over the last 176 days, you're up 82%. So use the tools that you have. And again, the tools that I have are TrendSpider and the Seeking Alpha Premium and Alpha Picks bundle. That's it. And I'll point out one more, okay? Carnival Cruise Line, they reported earnings yesterday. 10th straight quarter of record revenue. And they lifted their outlook. Okay? They were down 4%, 3.98. Maybe it's because cruise lines, it's up 22% year to date, 17% with the yesterday's, okay? It's still a strong buy in the quant. The valuation, a little bit stretched. It's a C, but its PEG ratio with its growth is under 1. You've got a revenue growth of 7.15%. And if you want to analyze it with AI, you can. Is it a buy the dip situation? Well, I'd argue get yourself a charting program that has a back-tested strategy, because the 4-hour algorithm makes you 124% versus 93% buy and hold. Okay? The reality of this one is that it's pulled back. Now, where's the support line? Maybe it's right here. Maybe it's at 26. Maybe you still got 10% down, because you can see right there, it provided resistance. And on this pullback, it pulled back here. You had a couple of buys here. I will be looking to add to this position. I like it. But again, that's an alpha picks position. So I'm going to make sure that I have the percentage in there and make sure that I'm managing it correctly. And if you want AI, we're in an AI market. This was a great article. Steve says 5 AI stocks that still have room to run. And you can see them: NVIDIA, Palantir, AppLovin, Micron, CommScope. They're all there. And Steve gives you the reasons why. You can literally sign up for Seeking Alpha Premium and you can look at it. Now, in the core portfolio, I'd argue Shopify. They just integrated with OpenAI, where literally you go into OpenAI. I'm going to change that. You go into and you search for something and it'll link you. You don't even have to link out of the store. You can buy in the ChatGPT app. It's revolutionary. This is how OpenAI is going to do stuff. And Shopify is in the core portfolio. Now, the 4-hour algorithm has you out. But the 4-hour algorithm doesn't give you a great return on this one. I would argue you're probably going back to that 176. Why? Well, when you take a look at a weekly, that's the previous all-time high. You see all of these stocks have gotten back to their all-time high. This is still a great stock. Now, from a fundamental standpoint, if we go and look at Shopify here, its valuation is crazy. Wall Street thinks that they are worth $162, which is 8% upside. Okay? The growth, phenomenal. 28% revenue growth year over year. So maybe it's time to start looking at this. I will give you a stock that I think you should look at, and it's the number one stock in my portfolio. It's Apple. I went to the Apple store yesterday, trade in my old iPhone. It was packed. The line at noon was about 20 deep to purchase a new iPhone. There were about 40 people in line. And the help, you couldn't get it. I just wanted to trade in my phone. The girl who helped me said it's been like this since they launched the new iPhone. It has been nonstop. They are looking to hire more people. And then Bank of America says iPhone 17 lead times remain higher than last year. The 16 was a flop, let's be honest. I want to point out that Apple didn't raise their prices, so I'm a little concerned on this. Yes, it's run up to $254. Wall Street thinks that it's a $243 stock. So it's run up. I think Wall Street is underestimating this. But the one thing that I do want to point out is the margin. She told me most people are buying the 17 Pro or Pro Max. The margin on those probably good. But remember, the Air is cheaper. So we don't want to see the Air start soaring in actual volume. I still like the stock. Okay, I still like the stock. The 4-hour algorithm, I haven't added to this one in a while, other than when they pay a dividend, I get like $4,000 or $5,000 of stock because I reinvest it. So yes, back here on August 11th, I purchased it about $220, which I was fine. Now I sold a bunch too. I took long-term capital gains on that, and I was fine. In my retirement account, I said, hey, when it reaches 240, I'm going to sell a little bit. And I did trim. But I still like the stock because if this traffic keeps up, expect it to be a very good quarter because remember, and I said this, the 16 was a flop. So the comparables to last year, it's going to look incredible. The other thing that I want to point out, she specifically said the AirPods 3 are completely sold out. Okay, completely sold out. They don't know when they will get them back in store. If AirPods were its own company, and I went to Perplexity and I asked this, if it were an own company with annual revenue, where would it rank in the S&P 500? And this is what Perplexity told me. If Apple spun out AirPods into its own companies, at AirPods estimated 2024 revenue of $22 billion would place it in the top 170 companies in the S&P with annual revenue in line with brands like Starbucks and Netflix. Just FYI. That's how big just that product line is. So yes, it is still a company that I believe in. Can they grow? Absolutely. Is it one that I'm looking to buy a ton of? No. But remember, my podcast isn't about me. It's not about you. It's about me. And I have tens of thousands of shares of this company. So I'm perfectly fine with my position. Now, when it gets to 260, I've been clear. Is that still resistance? And so far it is. Now I want to point out to you as well, Stan Druckenmiller. This is a great speech on Instagram. It's worth a listen. It's all of like 2 minutes, okay? Specifically, he talks about how he doesn't like to diversify. He likes to put all his eggs in one basket. So the fact is he's made millions off of this strategy personally. And I listened to this and I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't I put all my eggs in one basket? I put it into Apple. Apple has grown to that position. It's not like I'm taking money and throwing it at Apple at a larger percentage than any other stock. It grew to that position in my portfolio. I have personally bought more stock. Would I have been better buying Apple? Probably. So his strategy probably makes sense. So this guy averaged 30% a year with no down years over 30 years. So again, you have to listen to it, but understand you probably can't do this. He is a freak of nature and you have to understand your own strategy. So use the tools that you have and you don't have to get my tools. Again, we all wear different underwear. It's not like I go out and say, hey, Fruit of the Loom. Hey, the Calvin Klein underwear. It's the best out there and you should absolutely wear it. No, I am saying for me, these tools work. For the thousands of people who listen to my podcast and have signed up for these tools, they seem to work. The churn is unbelievably low on this. People sign up year after year and they've gotten it within their system to work. So TrendSpider, don't miss the fall sale and don't miss out the savings on the bundle here. Again, we will get a new pick tomorrow because it's the 1st of October. So Alpha Picks is going to get another pick. If you have any questions, hit me up. Everything's on Linktree, my email address, all of that. Sign up for the newsletter. I'm going to try and get the October watch list out there because September was such a good month. The September watch list, we can look at the 1 month performance. 1 month, let's see, total percentage change in the month. Okay, you can see it down here, bottom right next to my head. That's the total change. I bought 1 share of each stock. It's up 18%. Okay. The August one, we can look at that one. That one, since I picked it up, is up 21%. So August and September. October will come out later today. If you want that, again, it's going to be in the newsletter. It's going to be a separate newsletter. So if you have any questions, hit me up. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. through my hopes and fears.